I'd like to point out that Victoria Cooper, also known as Siren on HoldTheLine.com, who is our anointed host for Hero Talk on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, has agreed with me recently that governments around the world would get a lot more done if dog farts could be weaponized. I'll allow you to go to your room so you can think about that. Gamers, what is up? Vernon here, and if you're not familiar, this is Gaming Bytes, where we talk about the biggest gaming stories of the week, starting with, and the first thing I want to talk about is Killzone Shadowfall, because the game's director, Stephen Hyde, I apologize if I'm butchering your name, I just can't pronounce it, sorry. Big Stevie came on to field some questions in a Q&A session on the PlayStation blog and said that the Killzone Shadowfall game would be at least over 10 hours, so that's a good length for a game, I'd like to say, and he also said this: in many ways, Killzone Shadowfall is a fresh start for the franchise. While die-hard fans will appreciate the nods to earlier Killzone titles, no knowledge of the Killzone universe is required to get into the story. Really? No knowledge? That's a bit of a stretch. Here's my thing. If no knowledge is needed to get into the story of this latest game that is a spin-off, or not really a spin-off, but it's a continuation of the franchise that you're toting here, why not just make a new franchise? If it's got the name of the franchise but doesn't tie into the franchise at all, you don't need any information of the previous 3 games to get involved with this new game, it just makes sense to me to just make a new franchise. Why would you put it under the same name as that franchise if you don't need to know anything about it going into it? Is this a reboot? Is that what we're talking about here? Are we talking about like a prequel kind of thing that explores the invasion of Vetka Prime from someone else's point of view? Maybe. I'm just shooting out ideas here, but what do you guys think about it? First of all, the length of the game being over 10 hours, I believe that, in my opinion, that a good length for a game should be about 8 to 12 hours. That would be a good length. Any more than that should be considered an RPG, and any less than that should be considered crap. So LEGO Marvel Superheroes has a new demo, as well as a bunch of screenshots of heroes such as Spider-Man, Polaris, Power Man, also known as Luke Cage, Electro, Shocker, all these new heroes and villains and stuff like that, and it looks pretty damn awesome. So, will you be picking it up? Comment below and let me know. And the next thing on the docket is the fact that Nintendo has ceased production of the Wii console in Japan. As far as the Japanese website is concerned, it has a message on it saying that we no longer produce the Wii console. The UK's website is only selling the Wii Mini, which is a stripped down version of the Wii, which I'm not sure why the US didn't get it, but whatever, I'm biased because I live in the US. While the United States version of the Nintendo website is still selling the console and listing where you can buy it at certain retailers. And yes, I believe it had a good run, so if this is to be the end of the Wii as it was the end of the PlayStation 2, well, thanks, Nintendo, for creating a decent console that started the motion controller innovation cycle so that hopefully we'll get to our Star Trek holodecks the day after I die. And if you like what you've heard here, leave some comments, maybe hit the like button, share, subscribe. And one HTL member that I'd like to give a shout out to is Jeff Black, also known as Baron Fang on HoldTheLine.com. Now I know when people talk about friendship a lot, they talk about closeness and stuff like that. This guy is on the other side of the world, and he is one of the most awesome people that I know. So Jeff, if you're watching, if you tuned in this week, I want to say, just thanks for being awesome and, being a good friend. Otherwise, my name is Vernon to it. I hope you enjoyed getting to it. Much love to you all, and I'll see you next time on HoldTheLine.com.